Hello and welcome. In the fast-paced world of hospitality, difficult client conversations, well, they aren't just a possibility. They're pretty much a guarantee. But what if I told you that every single one of those conflicts is actually an opportunity in disguise? Today, we're going to break down exactly how to turn those really tough moments into your greatest strengths. Let's dive in. This quote right here, it really gets to the very heart of our explainer today. We're going to completely reframe how you think about conflict. See, it's not a sign that something failed, not at all. It's a test. And passing it doesn't just fix a problem. It actually forges a stronger, more resilient partnership. And let's be realistic here. In an industry that is built on incredibly complex human interactions, things won't always go perfectly. I mean, whether it's a service disruption, a tense pricing discussion, or maybe a logistical hiccup during a major conference, these challenges are just a natural part of any long-term partnership. So the key isn't avoiding them, it's mastering how you handle them when they happen. So where do we even start? Well, before you ever say a word in a difficult conversation, the battle is really won or lost right here in your mindset. It is the absolute foundation for everything else that follows. Our first instinct in a conflict can be pretty emotional. We get defensive, maybe we want to assign blame, but that's just like throwing fuel on a fire. The alternative? A calm, professional response. Now, this isn't about being robotic. It's about signaling to the client that you're focused on the solution, not the fight. And that single shift is what immediately begins to de-escalate all that tension. And this leads us to a critical rule. You have to separate the person from the problem. The very moment a discussion gets personal, you've hit a stalemate. The relationship suffers and, honestly, nothing gets solved. But by focusing only on the issue at hand, you keep the conversation professional, you invite collaboration, and you open up a real path to a solution. Okay, so now that we have the right mindset, we need the right tools. So next, we're going to break down a really practical 4-pillar framework that you can use to navigate basically any difficult client conversation. And here they are: preparation, listening, communication, and solutions. I want you to think of these 4 pillars as your essential toolkit. If you master them, you'll be equipped to handle virtually any challenge a client brings to you. So let's take a closer look at each one. First up, preparation. Look, you should never ever walk into a difficult conversation unprepared. This means doing your homework. You need to pull the service reports, talk to your operational teams, review the contract. When you have the facts, your conversation is grounded in reality, not assumptions, which allows you to speak with real clarity and confidence. The second pillar is active listening, and this is not just about being quiet while the client is talking. Think of it as a diagnostic tool. Your goal here is to understand their full perspective. Often the initial complaint is just a symptom of a much deeper issue. Maybe it's a frustration with inconsistent communication over time. Listening helps you find and fix the root cause. Now for pillar 3, respectful communication. The words you choose matter immensely. Even when you disagree, using non-confrontational language and sincerely acknowledging the client's concern maintains their dignity. It reinforces that you value the partnership. This is what builds trust, even right in the middle of a conflict. And finally, the 4th pillar, offering solutions. A temporary fix just isn't enough. Clients are looking for a real commitment to improvement. So when you propose solutions that focus on preventing a recurrence, things like operational adjustments or maybe revised procedures, you're showing them that you're a true partner who's invested in their long-term success. Okay, so we have the mindset and we have the tools, but why is mastering this so incredibly important? In this next section, we're going to connect these skills directly to your professional success and really to the overall health of your business. The benefits here go so far beyond just solving one problem. When you handle conflict well, you build a deeper, more resilient level of trust. You also create a chance for your own organization to learn from what happened and improve its processes. And ultimately, this just deepens the partnership and ensures its stability for years to come. Think about the strength of a partnership over time. So it starts at a certain baseline. Now, during a conflict, naturally, it can take a dip. But here is the crucial part. After a constructive resolution, look what happens. The partnership doesn't just return to normal, it actually rebounds to a level that's even stronger than it was before the conflict even began. All right, let's bring all of this together. We've journeyed from seeing conflict as this big threat to understanding it as a strategic opportunity. an opportunity for collaboration and for strengthening our relationships. And this, right here, is the key takeaway. A successful long-term partnership isn't defined by a lack of problems. It's defined by the ability of both parties to navigate those problems together, with professionalism and a genuine commitment to making things better. That is the true measure of a strong relationship. So I'll leave you with this. Your next challenge, well, it isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The real question is, now that you have the mindset and you have the tools, how are you going to turn that inevitable challenge into your next big success?